Yo, what's up with you, YouTube? Today I'll be bringing you a rundown of some free agents that'll be available this offseason, along with some trades that might happen, and I'll also be talking about the NBA Finals and stuff relating to that. So some free agents that'll be available that I think are good. In the point guard area, Kyle Lowry is definitely a big option. I'll actually be talking about a trade that might occur with him, or not necessarily a trade, but what might happen to him in free agency later. Um, Isaiah Thomas, he's a restricted free agent, so I believe it's a team option. But if Sacramento wants to let him go, then he'd be pretty good. The only thing downfall with him is he's 5'9", so he's not very tall. And then Eric Bledsoe, he's a restricted free agent, so it's a team option, I believe. So he'll probably stay in Phoenix. But if he leaves, he is definitely one of the best defensive and most athletic point guards in the league. He's very similar to Russell Westbrook. So shooting guards, Lance Stevenson, he's an unrestricted free agent, so he's probably going to go to a different team. And his stock kind of went down because of what he did in the Eastern Conference Finals with LeBron like blowing in his ear and all that stuff makes him less of a player and more like a trash talker and stuff. So makes his free agent stock go way down. And then Dwayne Wade, one of the big three, all three of the big three, can opt out of their contracts and go into free agency this year. Most likely, they will all stay on the Heat, I believe. But if he doesn't, Dwayne Wade is kind of a good option. I mean, he's had, I think, bum knees for his career. He's like 32, so he's still kind of old. He's getting a little older. But, I mean, he can still help a team if they pick him up in free agency. Now moving on to the small forwards. Rudy Gay, he is a pretty good. He hasn't been doing pretty well recently, but he has star potential. His is a player option, so he could opt out of his player option in Sacramento. Jeez, can't talk. Another interesting one that was available is Gordon Hayward on the Utah Jazz. He's a restricted free agent, so he might stay with Utah. He might go to a different team. He's very young, and he has great potential to be a very good player in the NBA. Chandler Parsons is also a restricted free agent. He was almost the third leg on the big three in Houston. He would have been like the third this season. He averaged like somewhere around like 15 to 17 points a game this year. So he was pretty good, and I think he's going to be a very good small forward available. Also, Luol Deng on Cleveland, he's going to be out and about in the free agent market, so he's pretty good too. Moving on to power forwards. Dirk Nowitzki, he's an unrestricted free agent, so he could leave if he wanted to. But I think he's going to stay in Dallas with the Mavericks. And they're probably going to make another run, hopefully, if they can pick somebody up this offseason. Carmelo Anthony, he's a big free agent. Everybody wants to get him. He has a option to terminate his contract early and go to free agency. Teams that are looking for him are the Bulls, the Mavs with Dirk and Monte Ellis would be a great three. The Rockets and the Heat are looking at him. The Heat would all have to take pay cuts, and the big three would have to take pay cuts, and they already do, so that they're all on the same team. But with Melo on there, Melo might have to take a small pay cut. But if he didn't, then there's a small chance of him going to there's not much of a chance he's going to go to the Heat unless they all take pay cuts. And LeBron James also has a option to terminate his contract early. But I don't think he might. He said losing the finals wasn't going to affect his decision. But we'll see where he ends up this offseason. He might leave, he might not. Moving on to centers. Tim Duncan. He has a player option. But even if he doesn't take his player option, he's probably going to retire. so he doesn't have too much free agent value unless he wants to play for a different team, but I strongly doubt that. Greg Monroe, he's very talented offensively, and he's very young. He's on the Detroit Pistons right now, so he's a restricted free agent, so if they want to free up some cap space and let him go, then they might do that. And another one is Chris Bosh, the last one of the big three. He has the same thing LeBron and Dwayne Wade do. He can terminate his contract early and stay with the Heat or go with a different team if he decides to do that. You can probably get a bigger salary, for him. So, yes. So, moving on to some trades. Raymond Felton has a good chance of being traded away from the Knicks. And the Knicks are looking to get Patty Mills. And he was putting in work in the playoffs, man. He was draining threes left and right. He hustles to the bench. He runs to the bench. He's full of energy. He's great for any team to come in. And he might even come in as a starter in New York if they get rid of Felton, trade him away this offseason. Talking about Lowry, I said I would later in the video. I'm talking about it now. Lowry could go to the Heat because Mario Chalmers is also a free agent, and he's probably on the outs because I don't know where he went in the finals and in the playoffs, but he only averaged 4 points a game on 30% shooting, so he wasn't very good at all. But Lowry could also go to the Lakers, Sacramento if they get rid of Isaiah Thomas in free agency. Yeah, he might go to some other teams too. But he might just stay in Toronto because he's a great fit there. So he might just stay in Toronto, re-sign with them. Maybe the bigger contract. So he gets paid $6 million now. He might get paid $12 million or $10 million next year because he's been putting in work and doing really well. And the Pelicans, I'm not sure if they have any Pelicans or Pistons fans, but the Pelicans and Pistons might trade Greg Monroe from the Pistons to the Pelicans for Ryan Anderson because that would probably benefit both teams right now. Now moving on to the finals. So the Spurs won the NBA Finals. And guys, sorry if this video is going a little longer. I have a lot to talk about. So I haven't posted a video in a couple days. But Spurs won the NBA Finals, and they're one of the best teams I've seen play in the past probably 10 years that I've watched. Well, I've only watched basketball in 10 years. But the past 8 years I've watched basketball. They're probably the best team I've seen play. They distribute the ball so well. They're a great team. They have many different weapons. They're very experienced. And I know the Heat are a good team, and there's probably some Heat fans out there, but the Spurs are they were OP. I mean, they're the best team in the league, easy. And after it, LeBron said he could have done more to help his team win. But I have to disagree with that. I think LeBron's being too hard on himself. I think that he put in a lot of work. I mean, except for the cramp night. But, I feel bad for him on that. But, I don't know. I think he put in a lot of work. And I think Mario Chalmers, he didn't do anything really. And all the bench players weren't doing as much, And Dwayne Wade wasn't doing too much. And Chris Bosh was doing okay. But, I mean, I don't think LeBron should have been that hard on himself. He's a great player. And he just took all the blame. I don't think he should have. But yeah, that's it for this finals on me. That's it for this video too, actually. So I will see you guys in the next video I post when more trade rumors and news comes out. So hit that like button, please. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, which a lot of you are. And tell your friends about it if you think they'd like it. I appreciate every single like I get. Every single view I get. I just love the support. So, thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace, YouTube.